Are you sabotaging your grey hair without even realizing it? Some of the most popular shampoos, conditioners, and styling products. Yes, even the ones sitting in your bathroom right now could be destroying your silver strands. The worst part is that some of these products are labeled for grey or silver hair, but they're secretly making it dull and dry. So before you reach for your favorite shampoo or serum again, watch this video until the end. I'm exposing 5 products you should never use on grey hair and giving you the best alternatives to keep your hair healthy and vibrant. Let's get into it. So let's start with the first product that might be secretly sabotaging your silver strands, your shampoo. And trust me, this one's a shocker. If you've been using Pantene Pro V-Sheer Volume Shampoo, thinking it's helping your hair look fuller, thicker, and more voluminous, I hate to break it to you, but it's actually working against your grey hair. Yes, Pantene is a household name, and you'll find it stocked on every drugstore shelf. But just because it's popular doesn't mean it's good for your hair. In fact, for those of us with mature silver strands, this shampoo can do more harm than good in the long run. The biggest red flag: harsh sulfates, specifically sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate. These are powerful detergents designed to cut through grease, dirt, and product buildup, which sounds like a good thing, right? Well, not exactly. Here's the problem. Grey hair is naturally drier and more delicate than pigmented hair. As we age, our scalp produces less sebum, the natural oil that keeps hair soft and hydrated. Sulfates don't just remove dirt and oil, they strip away even the little moisture that's left, leaving your hair feeling rough, brittle, and frizzy. A study published in the International Journal of Trichology found that sulfates weaken the hair's natural barrier, leading to increased moisture loss, dryness, and breakage. This is especially bad news for grey hair, which is already more delicate, prone to coarseness, and naturally dehydrated due to the loss of melanin and oil production over time. If you've noticed that your hair feels straw-like after washing or that it gets frizzier and harder to manage as time goes on, sulfates could be the culprit. These harsh cleansing agents strip away the small amount of natural moisture that grey hair still retains, leaving it feeling rough, brittle, and lifeless. But dryness isn't the only issue. Sulfates also lift and roughen the hair cuticle, which is the outermost layer of the strand that protects the inner structure. When the cuticle is raised, the hair loses its natural smoothness, creating a coarse, rough texture instead of the sleek, soft look we all want. Ever feel like your hair is impossible to brush after shampooing? That's because raised cuticles create more friction between strands, making them tangle more easily. This not only makes detangling a nightmare, but also leads to more breakage over time. When grey hair becomes fragile and prone to snapping, it can look even more uneven and wiry, making styling twice as difficult. And here's something else to keep in mind. When the cuticle is raised, your hair is more vulnerable to environmental damage. That means things like pollution, UV rays, and hard water minerals can penetrate the hair shaft more easily, leading to even more dryness, dullness, and potential discoloration. So if your grey hair has been feeling more unruly, frizzy, or difficult to manage, those sulfates lurking in your shampoo could be the reason why. And let's talk about volume, which is exactly what this shampoo claims to provide. At first, it might feel like your hair is lighter, bouncier, and has more lift. That's because sulfates create a super clean, almost squeaky feeling, removing excess oil and buildup. But here's the catch. This effect is only temporary. As your hair loses moisture and becomes drier, more brittle, and fragile, it actually loses strength over time. Weak, dehydrated strands are more prone to snapping, which can make your hair look thinner and more sparse. And the damage doesn't stop there. When the hair shaft is repeatedly stripped of moisture and weakened, breakage increases, leading to shorter, uneven strands and a lack of fullness. The irony: the very shampoo that promises volume could actually be contributing to hair thinning in the long run. Instead of helping you achieve fuller, healthier-looking hair, it weakens the structure of each strand, making it harder for your hair to hold on to the thickness and density it once had. Over time, you may notice that your hair doesn't just feel drier. It looks flatter and less voluminous, despite using a volumizing shampoo. If you want to keep your silver hair soft, manageable, and healthy, it's time to ditch the sulfates. Instead, switch to Pureology Hydrate Shampoo. It's a sulfate-free, ultra-moisturizing formula that's gentle enough for color-treated and naturally grey hair. Unlike Pantene, it cleans your hair without stripping away essential moisture, leaving your strands feeling hydrated, smooth, and full of life. Another great alternative is Olaplex No. 4 Bond Maintenance Shampoo. It's designed to repair damage while hydrating hair, making it a great choice if you've been dealing with dryness, breakage, or thinning strands. If you're shopping for a shampoo, always check the ingredients list. Avoid anything with sodium lauryl sulfate, sodium lauryl sulfate, or ammonium lauryl sulfate. Instead, look for gentle sulfate-free cleansers like cocamidopropylbutane or diesel glucoside. These ingredients cleanse without stripping, keeping your hair healthy and nourished. But dryness isn't the only issue. Some products can actually change the color of your grey hair, and not in a good way. Let's talk about a product that might be making your silver strands look dull and yellow instead of bright and vibrant. Silicones are everywhere in hair care, and they're marketed as the ultimate frizz fighter, promising smooth, silky strands with a glossy finish. And let's be real, who doesn't want that? But here's the catch. Not all silicones are created equal, and some can do way more harm than good, especially when it comes to grey hair. One of the biggest offenders, John Frieda's Frizz Ease Extra Strength Serum. It's a popular choice for taming flyaways and adding shine, but it contains dimethicone and amidimethicone, two types of non-water-soluble silicones that don't rinse out easily. Over time, these ingredients create a film around your hair, leading to buildup, dullness, and even yellowing. At first, silicones seem like miracle workers. They coat the hair shaft, creating a smooth, glossy finish that makes frizz and flyaways disappear. This is why so many anti-frizz serums, like John Frieda's Frizz Ease, are packed with silicones. They give instant results, making hair look sleek and polished. But here's the problem. Not all silicones are created equal, and the ones in this product could be doing more harm than good, especially on grey hair. The biggest issue is that they don't wash out properly. A study published in the Journal of Cosmetic Science found that non-water-soluble silicones, like dimethicone and amidimethicone, form an impermeable barrier around the hair shaft. This might sound like a good thing. After all, who doesn't want a protective layer? But in reality, this coating prevents moisture from getting in. Instead of hydrating and strengthening your strands, these heavy silicones act like plastic wrap, suffocating your hair and making it feel stiff, coated, and unnatural. And the longer you use products with non-water-soluble silicones, the worse the buildup gets. Over time, hair starts to feel greasy but dry at the same time, soft on the surface yet brittle underneath. This buildup also weighs down your hair, making it limp and lifeless instead of full and bouncy. And here's something even more concerning. This buildup doesn't just affect how your hair feels, it actually changes how your grey hair looks. Silicones attract pollutants, dirt, and mineral deposits from hard water, which can lead to dullness, discoloration, and even a slight yellow tint over time. This means if your once bright silver strands have started looking flat, brassy, or faded, your silicone-packed serum could be the reason why. Now, why is grey hair more prone to buildup? It all comes down to the unique structure of silver strands. Unlike pigmented hair, grey hair tends to have a rougher cuticle layer, making it more porous and naturally drier. This means it absorbs and holds on to products much more easily, which can quickly lead to buildup. So while a product like Frizz-Ease might work just fine for someone with younger, oilier hair, it can completely overwhelm delicate silver strands, leaving them looking dull, weighed down, and lifeless. And here's the frustrating part. This buildup isn't always obvious at first. You might think your hair is getting shinier and smoother, but over time, the layers of silicone start to block moisture from penetrating the hair shaft. The result? Instead of feeling soft and nourished, your hair starts to feel stiff, coated, and almost plastic-like. You may also notice that your grey hair is losing its brightness, turning a bit yellow or looking flat and faded. That's because silicones don't just block moisture. They also trap dirt, pollution, and mineral deposits from hard water, which can leave a dull yellowish tint on your beautiful silver strands. If you've been using Frizz-Ease thinking it's helping your hair, it might actually be working against you. Instead of loading your hair with heavy, non-water-soluble silicones, make the switch to a product that nourishes your strands without buildup. Olaplex No. 7 Bonding Oil is a game-changer. Unlike traditional serums, this lightweight, silicone-free formula is designed to repair and strengthen hair from within. It hydrates, smooths, and protects without leaving that heavy, waxy coating behind. Plus, it absorbs beautifully into grey hair, enhancing shine and softness while providing heat protection and long-lasting moisture. If you want your silver strands to stay bright, healthy, and touchably soft, this is the kind of product your hair will thank you for. Speaking of buildup, let's talk about another product that can literally make your silver strands look lifeless, and it's probably sitting in your bathroom right now. Hairspray is supposed to keep your style locked in place, but if you're using Tresemme Extra Hold hairspray, you might be sacrificing the health of your hair just for that long-lasting hold. On the surface, it seems like a great option. It's affordable, widely available, and provides that extra strong hold we all love. But here's the catch. This hairspray is loaded with harsh alcohols, and for grey hair, that's a major red flag. The biggest problem is that this hairspray contains high concentrations of drying alcohols, including denatured alcohol, ethanol, and isopropyl alcohol. These ingredients evaporate quickly, which is what makes the hairspray set so fast. But in doing so, they also suck the moisture out of your hair almost instantly, leaving it feeling stiff, crunchy, and dry. Hairspray might seem like a quick fix for keeping your style in place, but did you know that many drugstore formulas contain high levels of alcohol? A study published in the Journal of the Society of Cosmetic Chemists found that styling products with high alcohol content weaken the hair cuticle, making strands brittle, dry, and more prone to breakage. The hair cuticle is the outermost protective layer of the hair shaft. When it's damaged or weakened, your hair loses moisture faster, leading to rough texture, split ends, and overall fragility. This is especially concerning for grey hair, which is already naturally drier and more delicate than pigmented hair. Why does this happen? As we age, our scalp produces less sebum, which means our hair doesn't get the same natural hydration it once did. Adding drying alcohols like ethanol and denatured alcohol on top of that. It's a recipe for dull, brittle hair. Instead of keeping your style fresh and polished, alcohol-heavy sprays can leave your silver strands feeling stiff, dehydrated, and lifeless. And if that wasn't bad enough, let's talk about yellowing agents. Many hairsprays contain artificial dyes, synthetic resins, and buildup-causing chemicals that can leave behind a dull, yellowish film on your silver hair. You might not notice it right away, but over time, this buildup can make your once vibrant grey hair look brassy and discolored. So, if you've been struggling to keep your silver strands bright and healthy, your hairspray could be the hidden culprit. Opt for alcohol-free styling products that provide hold without stripping moisture or dulling your hair color. If you still want great hold without the damage, swap out your alcohol-heavy hairspray for something gentler. The good news? There are plenty of alternatives that keep your style in place without drying out your delicate silver strands. Another great choice is Bumble, and Bumble does it all. Hairspray. This lightweight, alcohol-free formula provides flexible hold without making your hair feel crunchy or stiff. It's ideal if you want to maintain movement and shine while still keeping your style in place. Plus, it brushes out easily, so you won't have to worry about buildup or that dreaded sticky residue. If you're shopping for a hairspray, always check the ingredients list. Avoid products that list denatured alcohol, ethanol, or isopropyl alcohol at the top of the list. These are the biggest culprits behind dryness and breakage. Instead, look for formulas that contain nourishing, plant-based ingredients like aloe, glycerin, or botanical extracts. These not only help set your style, but also provide hydration and protection, keeping your grey hair healthy, soft and vibrant. Your hair deserves products that work with it, not against it. Making the switch to gentler styling sprays will help maintain your hair's natural moisture, keeping your silver strands strong, shiny, and full of life. But styling products isn't the only issue. Even shampoos made specifically for grey hair can sometimes do more harm than good. Let's talk about one that might be turning your silver strands into something you didn't sign up for. If you have grey hair, purple shampoo is a must-have to keep it bright, vibrant, and free of yellow tones. It's one of the most recommended products for silver hair, and for a good reason. But here's where things can go wrong. Using it too often can actually do more harm than good. Many people swear by Clairol Shimmer Lights shampoo to combat brassiness. But if you're not careful, you could end up with dull, chalky, or even lavender-tinted hair instead of the shiny silver you were aiming for. So why does this happen? It all comes down to color theory. The violet pigments in purple shampoo work by neutralizing yellow tones, which helps maintain a cool, icy look for grey hair. But here's the thing, too much purple pigment starts to build up on the hair shaft, leaving a faded, unnatural tint instead of that bright, healthy silver. Purple shampoo is a must-have for keeping grey hair bright. But did you know that using it too often can actually do more harm than good? A study from the International Journal of Cosmetic Science found that hair with high porosity absorbs pigment more easily. This means that if your grey hair is more porous, it will soak up the purple pigments much faster than you think, leading to an uneven, dull, or even lavender-toned appearance instead of a vibrant silver. But that's not the only problem. Shimmer lights contain sulfates, which are harsh detergents designed to deep clean the hair. While they might help remove buildup and neutralize brassiness, they also strip moisture from your strands. And here's the catch. Grey hair already produces less oil, making it naturally drier and more fragile than pigmented hair. When you add sulfates into the mix, it can leave your silver strands feeling rough, brittle, and prone to breakage. So while you might be toning away yellow, you could also be weakening your hair in the process. Another common mistake is overusing purple shampoo. Many people assume that using it more often will keep their grey hair bright, but in reality, too much purple shampoo can lead to buildup, making your hair look dull, ashy, or even slightly purple instead of a healthy natural silver. So how often should you use it? Most experts recommend applying purple shampoo only once a week or even every other week, depending on your hair's porosity and moisture levels. If your hair is on the drier side, spacing out your washes can help maintain brightness without sacrificing softness. And for the best results, always follow up with a deep conditioner to keep your grey hair nourished and hydrated. If you notice your hair looking chalky, dull, or taking on a violet hue, it's time to cut back. Instead of using it every wash, try alternating with a moisturizing sulfate-free shampoo to keep your silver hair looking healthy and fresh. If you still want to neutralize yellow tones without the risk of over-pigmenting or drying out your hair, switch to L'Oreal Everpure Brass Toning Purple Shampoo. Unlike Shimmer Lights, it's sulfate-free, ultra-hydrating, and much gentler on grey hair. It still fights brassiness, but without leaving your hair feeling dry or chalky. Now, if you think purple shampoo is the only culprit for changing your hair's texture, think again. There's another product that can leave your silver strands feeling stiff, sticky, and downright unhealthy. Let's talk about styling gels. If you love a stronghold gel, you might find yourself reaching for got-to-be ultra-glued styling gel to keep your hair in place. It's one of the most popular gels on the market, promising long-lasting hold that won't budge. But while it does its job in keeping your style locked in, it also comes with some serious downsides, especially if you have grey hair. The main culprit? Polyquaternium 11. This ingredient creates a hard, sticky coating on the hair shaft, acting like a shell around each strand. Now, while that might sound like a good thing for keeping your style intact, it actually has a hidden downside. It blocks moisture from penetrating your hair, leaving it stiff, dry, and unhealthy over time. When it comes to styling gels, we all want a product that keeps our hair in place without making it feel stiff or sticky. But if you're using a heavy gel, you could be damaging your hair in ways you don't even realize. A study published in Cosmetic Dermatology found that heavy styling gels create a barrier on the hair shaft, preventing it from properly absorbing moisture. This leads to a rougher texture, increased breakage, and long-term structural damage to the hair. Now, let's talk about grey hair specifically. Silver strands are already prone to dryness because they lack the natural oils that pigmented hair has. When you apply a gel that blocks moisture, it amplifies the dryness, making your hair feel even more brittle, frizzy, and dehydrated. Instead of achieving soft, defined styles, you might end up with hair that feels hard, crunchy, and stiff, which is the exact opposite of what you want. And it doesn't stop there. Many heavy gels attract dirt and product buildup, which can weigh down your hair and even cause yellowing over time. If you've ever noticed your grey hair looking dull or slightly discolored, your styling gel could be a contributing factor. And here's the part that a lot of people don't realize. This gel can actually cause yellowing and brassiness. How? Because polyquaternium 11 is known for attracting pollutants and environmental buildup, meaning dirt, smoke, and other impurities stick to your hair like a magnet. Over time, this buildup dulls your silver strands and gives them a yellowish tint, which is the last thing you want when trying to maintain a bright, vibrant grey. If you still want a strong hold without the damage, try Aveda Confixer Liquid Gel. It's lightweight, alcohol-free, and provides flexible hold without making your hair feel crunchy or stiff. Unlike Got2b, it won't create that heavy coating that blocks moisture or attracts buildup. Instead, it keeps your grey hair soft, defined, and full of movement. So, have you been using any of these products without realizing what they're doing to your hair? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear your experience. And if you enjoyed watching this video, you will definitely love this next one.